Hello everybody and welcome back to another unboxing video. Today we have a medium-sized unboxing, and I'm calling it that because I don't think this is enough to be a massive unboxing, considering that we're only unboxing 5 aircraft and my criteria for a massive unboxing is 6. So we have these 5 right here and some very anticipated ones, especially in this medium-sized unboxing, but actually we'll be getting it started here with the non-model item. And we'll move some of these boxes out of the way here so you can see it right here. And it is this poster, this Southern Airways Minneapolis-St. Paul poster, which I got for free actually. They were doing just a free sale of it, and I only had to pay for shipping, which was still like $10, but whatever. It's $10 for a piece of paper. But no, it looks really nice right here. Southern Airways, and I mean, advertises their DC-9, of course. Then I guess everything that you can do in Minneapolis and St. Paul. I really like the colors on it. Of course, I mean, it's an airline poster and it's vintage, and I got it for free. So I mean, I think it's pretty much worth it. But that's pretty much all there is for this poster. So we'll move that off to the side. But first, our first model that we'll review is probably the one that has been most anticipated by probably everyone that is watching this. Well, maybe not everyone that's watching this video, but by a lot of people. It is one of the most anticipated models of the past year, and it is the Delta Connection Embraer E175. Sorry about this shot, not too great. There you go. So here's my two Gemini Jets Delta Connection E175s right here. I did decide to get 2 of them, as I promised I would, because we need them for MSP. So we got 2 of them right here. One of them has a model inside, one of them does not, and I'll get the one with the model inside. That is this one, so this one is empty. I'll bring on the model, actually, so we can get a side-by-side shot, so I'll just have that handy with me over here, because I want to get both of them in on one shot here. But in terms of the box right here, it is a standard Gemini Jets box right here for the Delta E175. It does have the, it doesn't want to focus. There we go. It does have the 25th anniversary logo on top for Gemini Jets, Delta logo down there, and of course the aircraft inside. And then you can see the model inside there. Lift the flap, and then in terms of information, we have the aircraft info. I'm sorry I can't film very well right here. I suppose I've said this like every single unboxing, but I can't do it very well because I'm trying to hold a microphone while also showing off the box at the same time. But you get the idea with the box, so we won't have to show the other 2 Gemini Jet boxes because you already showed this one. So now we'll get the model out of the box here if we can, and there's that. Slide the plastic out right here, pop that off, and it looks like we have an intact model right here. Another fantastic Delta Connection E175. Now I wish I had a way to tell the 2 apart, if that makes any sense. I wish that maybe the registration could be a number different or something. I mean, obviously they wouldn't be able to do that, but since they are the exact same model. So here are the 2 of them right here. This was the original one that I had already unboxed, and that was from DG Pilot, and this is the new one. Most of these are from Jet Collector. And then we have, 3 of them for Jet Collector, 2 of them for DG Pilot. This one is from DG Pilot, this one is from Jet Collector. And we'll review the Jet Collector one because I've already seen this one and it is all good. So we'll review the new one, and hopefully this one is just as good as the other one. And by my first glances of it, there's a little bit of debris on the wing. So hopefully we can get that off, and I just did. So a little bit of debris, not too bad, and it looks all splendid right here. So we'll bring this into frame and then zoom it in on our first aircraft right here. This model I have been so stoked to get. I mean, it has been truly needed, and I've been waiting for so long, and I've been wanting it to be released for over a year now, and here it finally is. I've been expecting this release, I should say, for over a year. I've been wanting it for longer than that, but I mean, here it is. So we'll get started with the review right here. We have our cockpit windows, SkyTeam logo right there, operated by SkyWest. We have some detailing for the pitot tubes and all that. Excuse me. We have our L1 boarding door right here. Then we also have our nose gear down there, which does not roll, but I mean, is really tiny, so that's not a whole bit super big deal. We have our Delta titles up here, then Connection below for Delta Connection, of course, Delta's regional brand. Here we have our engine with, its appropriate detailing. And here's our wings that are actually correctly, correct wing flex, which is amazing for Gemini just because their E175 mold was whack for a long time. And it was so disappointing every time that I would get an E175. And then they started fixing it with the Alaska one, the Alaska E175 in the regular livery. And I was thinking, all right, they're getting somewhere. And then this model, I mean, this is about the best one that they've done for an E175. So props to Gemini Jets for fixing that. I didn't really think that they were going to do it, but they actually did it. So I guess it's good that they waited until they released this one so they could get to get the mold iron out and make sure it's perfect. And yeah, they did it very well right here. We also have our main gear down there, and on my other one they roll well. This one they don't. And there's one that's a little bit stuck, but once again, not a super big deal for me. Not a deal breaker by any means. We have the American flag right there. Registration is November 274 Sierra Yankee. Then we have the L2 door back there. And then here we have our Delta tail, of course. And then the APU back there. Wonderful model right here. And yeah, I love the E175. I just think it looks really great. One of my favorite aircraft types. And honestly, I just think it looks super nice. One of my favorite looking aircraft. So super glad to have two Delta Connection E175s right here. This will be amazing for MSP since we get so many of them at MSP. So that's where you'll see these mostly, but you'll also see them at airports like Fresno. That's a big one. They fly to Fresno. I think we might catch a glimpse at maybe Providence or Madison. Sometimes they fly into there, and sometimes it's the CRJ. Mostly it's the CRJ 900, but yeah, I mean, I know Fresno, they exclusively fly the E175 in for Delta. Then MSP, we just get so many. So it was definitely a crucially needed model, and here it is. And it is very splendid to have two of them right here. And now we will move on to our next model here. And this one I also got a jet collector. We're going to kind of go by size, I guess, even though I think the model after this one is technically smaller, but whatever. We're going to do this one next. It is the Flair 737 MAX 8. This is a model that I've been kind of like bobbing back and forth on whether I wanted to get it or not for a while, and I decided to finally go get it, especially because I need it for my Thunder Bay airport, and it's a nice new model to the Canadian collection, especially because, I mean, I'm going to have to retire. I already have retired my Swoop plane and then Sunwing, since they're going to be going pretty soon, which is unfortunate. That's going to be another Canadian model that isn't going to be, up to date anymore, I suppose, since the airline is going to be absorbed. Both airlines are being absorbed back into WestJet. But we'll get this one out of here. So Flair operates 737 MAX 8s and 737-800s. And wow, the plastic is really tight on this one. They operate mostly the MAX to Thunder Bay. And I am struggling with getting this one out. Almost got a corner here. Alright, we got one corner out, and then usually after that it's pretty easy. I did not expect that to be so difficult to get out of there, but here it is. Flair MAX 8. And we'll put all that junk off to the side, and we'll get her zoomed in on our model right here. That nose gear seems awfully tall. I mean, I know it's tall in real life, but I don't know. Looking at that, it seems kind of excessive. And there might be a little bit of paint chipping on the nose gear. What are you going to do? It's Gemini. So, yeah, we'll do a review here. We'll bring the pencil back on in here. Have our cockpit windows right there. Here's our nose gear, which, like I said, looks very high up. Here's our L1 boarding door right there. The Flair billboard titles, where we have our engine with the nice chevrons in the back, of course. This is the CFM LEAP engine. Overwing exits and exit paths. We have the antenna right there. Here are our winglets, which are kind of a cool color. And then on the inside, You can see it has a Flair logo. That side might have been chopped off a little bit at the end. And that looks a little bit better on the other side, so that's a bit unfortunate for a little printing error right there. But of course, we have the Flair logo, and then the tail, which is kind of like this green and magenta color, which swoops down, and then it's just a black tail section empennage as we go back with the green dot here, of course, and then the registration, Charlie, Foxtrot, Lima, Kilo, Delta, and then the Canadian flag right there. And yeah, pretty nice model right here. The gear don't roll super well again. The nose gear is stuck, and then the main gear, they are all right. But like I said, I don't really care too much about the the gear rolling. So yeah, you had another Max to add to the collection right here, and this one a Canadian one for Flair. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say Gemini's Max mold is the best. Definitely, I recommend NG's Max mold. I would recommend to steer away from the Aero Classics one, but Gemini is certainly all right. But yeah, this one will be a good model to add to the collection, and yeah, look forward to seeing it at Thunder Bay. Then we have our final model here that from DG Pilot, and we had our camera zoomed out here. Not darker, I want it zoomed out. There we go. Sorry about the lighting there. And our next model is the Spirit A320 Neo, another model that I desperately needed to get here after you've seen many updates where I am going, well, if I had the Spirit A320 Neo, it would be in this spot, but I didn't have it, and now I do have it. So here it is, Spirit A320 Neo. Super excited for this model. I have been excited for this one ever since Gemini announced it as a future release. I have been awaiting its release, and it finally was released, along with the Delta Connection E175, like a perfect batch right there for me. And I mean, my original intention was to not get any Spirit models until their JetBlue thing was all sorted out, but that doesn't seem to be going very well for that acquisition right there for JetBlue. So I decided to go out and get this model, and I've also flown on a Spirit A320 Neo. So even if they do get bought out by JetBlue or another airline, at least I'll still have this model for personal reasons. This was also my first Neo flight, so that's pretty cool. So up here we have the raccoon mask thing around the cockpit windows, which is really nice. Airbus A320 Neo right there. We have our nose gear down there. Here's the L1 boarding door. First antenna right there. Here we have the Spirit billboard title. This one does not have the slashes through it, which I am happy about, because most of these nowadays do not have that. This is their newer iteration of the livery. I mean, there still are ones with the claw marks going through. I'm not really sure what those are supposed to be, but I have that on my other Spirit Bearfair livery. So I wanted to mix it up a little bit, and also this is how the aircraft that I flew on looked like, so I wanted it to be, more similar to that one. And the NG ones did have that, so if you want that version of it, then go for the NG one. But I wanted this one, so I went for the Gemini ones, and I could also save a little bit of money that way. We had the Spirit.com engines right here. Of course, the one with the slashes going through it, the streaks going through it, has Home of the Bearfair on the engines. Well, actually, no, some of them do have Spirit.com. It's a whole thing. Spirit has a whole bunch of different, and then there are some that are just still haven't been some of the parts still haven't been painted in the yellow livery, or vice versa, and they're on one of the rainbow livery aircraft, and it's just yellow all over. It's kind of funny, but yeah, this aircraft here is in the banana livery, and yeah, it looks very nice right there. Of course, we have our winglet right there, all yellow. I mean, everything's yellow here, and you gotta love that, with Howdy on the inside right there. Classic Spirit. And what else we got here? We got some more antennae back here, but other than this massive Spirit logo and it all being yellow, it's a pretty blank livery, to be honest. There's nothing too much more to go over on it, but I guess we have our L2 door back here. Registration is November 971 November Kilo. And then here we have the American flag and then Spirit on the tail. Because why not? What else did they put on it? But yeah, aircraft looks awesome. The engines are a little bit big, but that's just what you've come to expect at Gemini jets. I'm sure the NG model mold would be better, but I just wanted this one. I think the livery is a little bit more what I'm looking for, and I could save a little bit of money. And yeah, great model to add to the collection right here of the American ULCCs. Now just need to get another Allegiant model. That's one that I'm looking for. Allegiant A320. I'm going to need one of those. Not that they really fly those to Fresno, which is the main airport that I utilize my Allegiant models at, but they fly A320s to MSP and PVD, and yeah. So maybe at some point I'll have to invest in getting an Allegiant A320, although those models are rarer since there aren't too many Allegiant models out there in the first place. And then the A320s, those are pretty rare. So at some point, hopefully I can get one of those, but until then, we now have 3 Frontiers, 3 Spirits, and then 2 Allegiant. I guess I have an MD-80. So that, of course, does not fly anymore. But we have one more model right here, and this one is the one that I am most excited about from this batch. And actually, I got a referral from Citrus Aviation to get this model from his video. And I saw it, and I thought it was really cool. So yeah, here it is. It is the Airbus Beluga XL in the bare metal green livery. Not really livery, but before it got its livery. So this is, of course, the newest Airbus Beluga. Airbus Beluga number 6, I believe. Or Beluga XL number 6, because there are 6 of the, the original A300 ones. But yeah, this is a really cool box. I got it also because I missed out on the NG models. Original, not original. The NG models, the last 747, the complete opposite of the original. The last 747 in the green bare metal livery, and I wanted to get that one, and that one sold out immediately, and that was a whole deal. I'm still holding on for hope that I might be able to get one. So there still is a chance that I might be able to get one. But I want to get this one so it wouldn't have too bad FOMO. And also, I just love the Beluga. So I'm kind of giving a little tour of the box while we're doing this. So there's all this, and then it gives the dimensions of the aircraft back here, and of course all the boxes green, which looks really cool. So yeah, this one is by JC Wings, and also NG Models did just release this one. But the reason that I went for the JC Wings one and not the NG one is because the JC Wings one is interactive, first of all. And second of all, I didn't want to wait for the NG Models one because I feel like there's a decent chance that the NG one is going to get delayed. And I don't want to have a whole bunch of models on pre-order from Jet Collector for a while. So I went for the JC one, and it saved me a little bit of money, and I can get it right away. It's probably a little bit worse in terms of the mold and quality and all that, but that's all right. There's a part just rattling around in there, or is that? Never mind. That's just paper. There's just that in there, and I thought that was a part, but it's just some extra paper that got in there somehow. Not a big deal. Now this plastic is even worse than the Max. I don't think I'm able to do this one-handed, so I'm going to put you guys down right here, and maybe you can listen to some nice ASMR of me opening this plastic. But yeah, get this thing out of here so we can do our unboxing. Hopefully that was a nice sound for you guys. And here is of course the main model right here with the door closed. I mean, this is how you'll normally see it when it's in the air and stuff. And then this part, of course, since it is interactive, this comes out and then it becomes tail heavy, so you got to put it back in for it to sit right. But yeah, man, this looks great. So glad you've gotten this one. And no, Citrus didn't have the great experience, so sorry about that, Citrus. But thanks for showing me that this model. I didn't really know that even this model existed, and I am so glad that I got it. And mine looks a whole lot better, so I maybe got luck of the draw there, or maybe you got the bad luck of the draw. But this model, oh man, this is cool. So we will get a little bit zoomed in right here. Actually, we'll just take it part by part here, because why not do that? So we have up front here in this lighter green section, we have the cockpit area. We have, of course, the cockpit on the Beluga dips down, so they can, you know, open up the top there and not have it like the Dreamlifter, which it like slices open in the back. So this is a whole lot easier for Airbus, and you know the big brains over at Airbus, which is why they're better than Boeing. We have our cockpit window, or not cockpit, well, we have the nose cone right there. Then here are the cockpit windows. Right here we have, it says Beluga XL, and I can't read what all these say, so we can bring it up to the camera right here so we can read these. I mean, that says Stella, I can read that. That says something under Beluga, but I mean, not too much in terms of words on this model, so I mean, I'm not gonna strain myself to try and read that. But here we have the door, of course, and then some beacons up there, which are not, I mean, they're just painted on there, not like Aviation 400 or anything, but that would be very impressive if they were able to do that. I do not expect that out of my models, but yeah. Of course, being all green right here, as this was before it was, you know, painted into the full, you know, House Beluga livery. And I think this looks even cooler, especially because I already have a Beluga and a Beluga XL, both like the Airbus brand models. One of them I picked up at Miniatur Wunderland. That video got posted recently, my unboxing of those models. This one looks a whole lot better. So honestly, I was going to say if you want to see that, you can go watch that video. But yeah, honestly, this model is already better. And I'm too scared to do a self-promo because that doesn't feel right. Anyways, I'm getting off track here. Here is our, here's the model. It is very green, as you can tell. I like green, so that's great. Of course, it is, you know, the Beluga, so it's a very, it bundles up top. It is like a Beluga after all. That's where it gets its name from. And so this can fit, I mean, I suppose we can test it right here. We have an A320 fuselage, so the claim by Airbus is that it can fit an A320 fuselage inside. So we'll test that out with this model right here. And I might have just lodged the door in a little bit too much because I can't seem to take it out. There it is. So there is a second like set that goes to this model. And it comes with two A320 fuselages, or the front part of the A320 fuselage that you can fit in there. And I might ask for that for Christmas. So maybe we'll get the set, but it can definitely fit the A320 fuselage inside, as you can see. So test confirmed it can fit an A320 fuselage inside, as it's supposed to. So good job of modeling that, JC Wings. Here we have the wings, which are actually pretty cool that they have like green on that part, which I didn't really expect to see, but that is very cool right there. The only part of it that's not green is this section right here, and that is blue. But I don't believe that is that color on. It is not that color on the real, you know, livery Beluga. So that still is going to be painted white to reflect, you know, the regular Beluga Airbus house livery. I was referring to my Airbus brand Beluga XL, which I have on my shelf nearby. But yeah, here's the bottom of the aircraft, I guess. We have our landing gear as well. Of course, they tilt, and this is the butter machine, so get some nice Beluga butters. And then we also have our engine right there, and then also the winglet. And then moving further back right here, of course, then the fuselage kind of dips down, and then we have our tail section right here, which is, you know, very unique. And I believe the reason that it has these is because the thinking was that the air was going to get blocked by, you know, all that, so it wouldn't have as much air going around the rudder. So they had to add these. I know that was at least the thinking on the Antonov when that plane was built, because it was originally supposed to have the Buran on it, and yeah, so that's probably, I'm pretty sure that's what the deal is with these. And then in terms of other details, we have like these two little rail things down here. I'm not really sure what those are for, but that is exclusive to the Beluga. That is not on the original A330. But then this is, of course, they paint the tail of the aircraft. So this is like the Airbus house livery logo, if that makes any sense. But I mean, you see this logo on the Airbus house liveries, and then yeah, it kind of changes colors a bit going into the. I really wonder why it's painted like different shades of green throughout the model. Like if those are just like manufactured in different areas, or if it was just like had to be that. I'm not really sure. You know why that is, but if you have any intel in the comments on why they're like different shades of green, that'd be pretty awesome. And then finally, we have, I don't know if this is like a tail number right there, 1824, but I do know what this is, and that is the registration, which is Foxtrot, Whiskey Bravo X-Ray Lima, which I assume means wide Beluga extra large, but probably not. I mean, I assume the B is for Beluga, and then I'm not sure what the rest are, but yeah, very cool model right here. As you can tell, I'm tired. I'm losing my what to say. I'm losing my vocabulary. So we'll probably end the video here pretty soon. But very cool model by JC Wings. Definitely recommend this one or the NG models one, whichever one you'd like to get. It's a good choice no matter what. It looks really cool. It's a great display piece. Oh, I forgot to do the interactive part. We got to get that. We got to get the interactive part. Because, of course, if you're going to have the nose open, you're going to have to put this. So, of course, in real life, it does not just pop out like that, because that'd be kind of stupid. So what you have to do for the interactive part, because it opens up like so, then you put this in there somehow. We'll see if I can see what I'm doing here. There should be like a little slot in there that you can just kind of like slide it in. But well, maybe you can just put it like that. I don't know if I feel like it needs to go a little bit further in. I also don't want to break it, because that would be a waste to a very valuable model. I got one in. I seem to be able to get one in, and then the rest, there we go. I think I got it. There it is. All right. So if you kind of see what I did there, just kind of gotta slide it into the pins, and then it will hold up like this. And then you can slide in, if you get the rest of the set to go with it, you can slide in the fuselages inside, and then you'll have the full set. So I do plan on hopefully eventually getting those A320 fuselages to be able to put inside. But for now, this is what we have, and I think this looks really great right here. So I mean, here's the other piece that goes with it. Kind of creepy right there. I mean, this part has to be a little bit bigger and heavier so it can, hold down the model. So that's kind of cool. And actually, we can also take a look inside right there. Not too much detail inside, but they made it look cool. And it is a little bit tail heavy, so you got to, I mean, the nose is coming up a little bit when I have it like this. So that is noteworthy, but I mean, honestly, it's not too big of a deal since it still balances. But when you take it out, it definitely is tail heavy. But yeah, that is the interactive Beluga. Love that. Big fan of the Beluga right here. The original and the Beluga XL. So I wish I could have seen it when I was in Hamburg at the Airbus factory. They didn't allow photography. But if there was a Beluga there, I would have snuck a photo in. But there wasn't. So no photos, unfortunately, for you guys. And we will slide these models. Yeah, that's good enough. So in terms of all of our models in this medium size unboxing, here they all are. We have the two Delta Collection E175s, the Flair Max 8, Spirit A320 Neo, and then the Beluga XL by JC Wings. So big thanks to DG Pilot and Jet Collector for sending me all these models. Well, I mean, the DG Pilot ones I was able to pick up while at work. But thanks to Gemini Jets and JC Wings, since they both made the molds for all these. There's some pretty good molds right here. I mean, maybe with a few exceptions, but all in all, they look really nice. So, yeah, some great models added collection, and look forward to these in future airport updates. But that'll do it for our unboxing today. Thank you for checking out this medium-sized unboxing. I'll see you tomorrow. As always, good night. Auf Wiedersehen.